Hello everyone, this is Moonlight Knight or Viper, depending where you're getting this link from. This is a very informal and very unprofessional video about how to get your stream quality either up or getting rid of the lag. Generally, you're not going to have the best of both worlds. There's several things you can do to improve your stream quality, which is what we're going to talk about. I'm not the very best at talking or video editing and all that good stuff, but I will do my best here to compile something for you guys to hopefully help people out. So, let's get this started. So, the first thing I always see people debating about with streaming is it's the program you're using. The three major ones that I know of right now are going to be FME, which is Flash Media Encoder, which is 100% free. xsplit, which I believe costs $30 for a non-business to use per year, I believe. Not 100% sure. And there's Wirecast, which costs $100 and up. In reality, they all do the same thing, basically to get the video out on the internet. They just have some bells and whistles. And for 99% of the people, FME should work just fine. If you want to have like transitions or do overlays, you're going to have to go with xsplit. Wirecast is over the top. That is, you can use it if you have the money or you want to steal like a dirtbag, which you shouldn't. If you want to steal Wirecast, you got way more bells and whistles and overlays. Wirecast is meant for like hardcore professionals, like maybe IPL uses it or MLG could use Wirecast. I really don't know the software they use, but I'm gonna be showing you guys the settings with xsplit, which should work with FME and Wirecast as well. And I don't know why xsplit became the top dog. There's another free software out there that the people who make xsplit used to make. They used to make screen capturing software, kind of like Camtasia, which is what I'm using to record this video right now. But xsplit's the main one, so that's what I'm going to be showing you guys. So there are two major components when streaming that's going to affect the quality of the stream and the lagginess of the stream and the lagginess of whatever you're trying to stream. Because if you're trying to stream a game on your computer and you're playing on that computer, you're going to get a frames per second drop in the game. This could also result in the stream is going to see that frames per second drop. And on top of that, they could get additional lag because of settings you have in xsplit. The two biggest causes of this are going to be the two factors in determining your screen quality, the stream quality and everything is going to be your internet speed, your computer specs, mainly your processor. The video card's not going to help your stream very much at all. There are some video cards that will take the task on a little bit, that'll assist the CPU, but most likely that's going to be being used for your game, and you're going to want to have that feature disabled in your video card anyways. So let's first start off with the speed test. We need to see how fast your internet is. So to do this, you go to speedtest.net. You should get a little map like this. It should automatically find out where you're at. If it doesn't, go over to it and click. I'm technically in Austin, but I'm going to click on Temple just because it doesn't really matter that much as long as it's nearby you. Actually, yeah, as long as it's nearby you. So the first part is going to show you download speed. And I'm not sure what the site uses by default, but megabits is what most people always brag about who have a 30 megabit connection. Reality, that's pointing to your download speed, not your upload speed. Upload is what matters when you're trying to stream, for sure. So I have basically a 5 megabits connection. Don't let this thing fool you. If you have something like Turbo Boost, Time Warner Cable offers this where I live. I'm sure it's offered some other places. I know there's another company up in the Northwest that offers a boosting type thing. It will actually give you a higher number than what you really have. The boost only affects your speed for like 10 seconds, up to 10 seconds every 5 minutes. And that will give this false positive of a higher number than what you really have. So do this a whole bunch of times. I know I have a 5 megabit connection. Generally I'll get anywhere between 4.9 and 5.5. My download is technically 50, but generally I only get 30 to 40. It just varies. Also I have BitTorrent open and I'm running 2 servers, so that's also affecting these numbers and making them worse than what they really are. So remember this number, this 5 megabits converts to 5000 kbs. We will be using that number for me later on. The other major component is going to be your computer speed. Most people are going to be on Vista 7, so you're going to right click on that little start icon, or left click on it, then right click on computer, select properties. This, and then right here, where's this processor? This will show your processor type and your speed. This can be lying to you. This, for some reason, does not pull an overclock speed. Intels have, software that come on their chips that lets you overclock them without even going to the BIOS. Same thing for AMD like I have. You can get your true speed and your current speed by using a program called CPU-Z. Let me see if I can pull that up here. And it's loading. It's totally free. It used to be a standalone program, but now you have to download and install it. This will show you your true speed. Like right now, it's currently just under 4 megahertz or 4,000 megahertz or just under 4 gigahertz. And I have it set so it can be bumped up to like 4.8 or something like that right now. If it's needed, it will actually bump up. Yeah, I see it bumped up there when I did some stuff on the computer. This you don't really directly need this number to tweak your settings, but you want this number to be big on at least two of your cores, really. You're going to at least want one big number for using xsplit and one big number for using your game. So something like Intel i5 and i7, pretty much all the FX from AMD's are all awesome. Technically, what I have, this 8 core sounds better, but in reality, my highest number for my highest core speed is actually relatively lower than other of the FX series or an Intel i5 or i7. I chose this processor because I do a lot of things at once, and I'd rather have slower individual cores and be able to do many things at once. Alrighty, let's talk about the xsplit settings. As I said, the two biggest factors when setting up your stream is going to be your internet speed and your computer specs. First of all, to stream in 720p, you're going to need at least an 8 megabit connection. That's probably not going to be for 99% of the people in America or Canada or in UK. There's some countries in Europe that have amazingly good connections, but like I know England, you're not going to have an 8 or 10 megabit connection, especially in America. There's only a few places that provide that right now. There's a few major cities like mine, I can get up to a 10 megabit connection upload for $70 or $100 a month. Let's see here. So we're going to go to edit channels here. Select the channel you've created. You should know all username, password, or stream key, channel, blah, blah, blah. Location. This kind of does not really matter. Just select the one closest to you. It's easier for Twitch. It's better for Twitch than it is for you to be nice to them and flip that over. The max bit rate. This is where your internet speed comes in. My max internet speed with our test was actually 5,100 kbps. If I'm playing a single player game and I use that and somebody calls me on Skype, my stream is going to lag because Skype is going to use my internet connection. You never want to use your full internet connection, but even for a single player game. Multiplayer game like Battlefield 24-man server for Xbox or 64 on PC, I believe will use up to that much of your internet. That's almost half of my internet connection. So you're going to want to keep this number lower than your internet connection speed. Even more so for multiplayer games. Halo, Call of Duty, fucking Minecraft even on Xbox uses internet connection. You don't want to be lagging your game. You don't want to be lagging your stream either. So for me, generally speaking, I do that. 3,500, that's really good quality. Oh, and let's see, the other thing here is the buffer. Generally you want to leave this the same. People say to double it, some say to half, some say to quarter. In reality, it should be left the same. You can double it if you have your internet speed kind of meanders up and down a little bit. But if it does, you're already going to have crappy gameplay. with lag in it if your internet varies, and your stream's gonna still show weird little lag symptoms. So it's best generally just to leave this in the middle, double it if you want to try it. I can't really tell the difference because my internet stays the same. I know if I half this, my stream gets really laggy. So that's for the buffer. The preset here, this is where you can improve your stream the best. Like I said, everything comes down to your internet speed and your computer specs. I like to think of this as like a timeline, I guess, a timeline or something like that. Super fast will use the most internet but the least computing power. Very slow is going to use the least internet but the most computing power. So say you have a god fast internet connection and a crappy computer. Put it on super fast and crank this number up if your internet can support it. For me, my internet can't support that, so I can't do that. It's just not going to work for me. Say you have a really good computer, like freaking 4 processors, all of them 6 cores, you're playing on a freaking server for a data center or something like that. You could probably get away with putting this on slower, and you could dump this number down to something like that. For me, this will kill my computer. I will get 350 frames per second down to like 10 on Battlefield if I do slower. For Battlefield, I actually have to almost do super fast because I don't like my frame rates going below 60 frames per second while I'm playing. For Battlefield at least. I believe xsplit default uses very fast or faster. It's pretty much all rumors. I've never heard somebody from xsplit officially say what it is. It could actually be a variable where it detects your computer power and it actually adjusts it on the fly. I really don't know. For the most part, I leave mine on super fast just because I know with the resolution I use and my internet connection, I like my computer to run cool. I don't like tasking it, so I use super fast. The quality option will affect video artifacting. Say you do hit this max bitrate here. What artifacting will do is will lower the quality of the video before it hits the max number. That way you don't cap off. You don't reach the max number quite. Most people, I believe, in the forum say use between 6 and 8. I use 10 because I hate artifacting. This is one of those settings you can tweak one number at a time after you get your stream up and it's smooth. You can do this to slowly up the quality until you start getting lag or something, and then you can be like, okay, can't go above 8. Not with this current setup. That's how you tweak everything. And next up, we got the audio encoding. Depending on how good you want your audio to sound, you want this number on bitrate to be bigger. Most humans can barely tell the difference between 128 and 320. It uses marginal more internet. If you're on a really crappy internet connection, I don't suggest bumping this up. I suggest leaving it on 128, even if you're on a crappy connection, just because once you do go below 128, most people can start to tell the difference in audio quality. One big thing you can do is switching this over to mono. That will drop it almost in half for the how much internet it actually will need, because it doesn't have to separate the left and right speakers. And depending what game you're playing, you really don't need stereo. Yeah, if you're playing Battlefield and you want your viewers to hear left and right footsteps, or you want them to hear a jet flying over you, you're going to want stereo. But Minecraft, Civilization, heck, even StarCraft, if you have a slow internet, you're going to want to put this on mono. I'm not really 100% sure how this works with the different frequencies. I'm pretty sure a lower frequency is going to be a lower quality. 44.100 is the standard. You might be able to get away with doing one of the other ones. I really don't know how crappy they sound. I've never thought to try it because I love good audio quality. I can't stand crappy audio quality, so I would never put that down on myself. Alright, let's see. The next thing we're going to look at here is going to be the resolution. If your internet is not at 8 megabits, there is almost no reason to put your thing at 720p. Like, literally, just none. Why bother? True 720p is around 8 megabits per second. It's just ridiculous to even put it at 720p if you can't get that. Yes, sitting on a menu screen, you can use 720p and only use like 1 megabit sitting on a menu. But when you're moving a character around a game, the screen is flashing explosions and colors, and all these things are flying around. It's going to use more internet, and I'll give a demonstration of that later on. This is one of those things, though, that when you do your test, you can't just test, turn on your Xbox or start your stream, and then be like, oh, it's all smooth, there's no lag, because you have to have action going on. So definitely start this off. I suggest starting it off at, if you're playing 16:9, starting it off at the 450. Or if you're playing 4:3, 480. Or 540 for 16:9, and 480 for 4:3. And then bumping them up as you go along to get better resolution. I'm not exactly sure of all the numbers. If I set my thing to stream at 720p, it does look a lot better when there's low motion on the screen. I'm not gonna lie, it does look better, but it puts a lot more task on your computer. And then when there is motion, the quality is gonna degrade quick, provided you have your maximum bit rate, and here set reasonable and it's not above your internet speed. Your stream's not going to lag, the quality is just going to deteriorate dramatically. The only downside to that is you're using more computer power, which is not that big of a deal provided your computer power can do it. So having on 720 is not going to kill you, provided everything else is set right. But really, while in motion, it's not gonna look any prettier than 540p. So why not just use 540p, save your computer, the struggle of having to work extra hard, and save your viewers the struggle of having to watch the quality go up and down and up and down, and they'd rather have a constant, pretty good view rather than something that looks like crap when there's explosions going off, and then when you die and waiting to respawn, have the quality get all crisp and clear. They want something consistent. One of the best things you can do to save your computer processing power and save your internet is lowering the frames per second. Most movies in the movie theaters that you watch, movies that you watch on Netflix, are actually recorded in 24 frames per second. Most humans can't tell the difference between 24 and up. So some can. During high motion, yes, you can tell the difference. But for stream quality, no one's going to complain if you're streaming at 24, 25 frames per second, provided the quality's really good. I mean, it's not as smooth. But if you have a bad internet or a bad computer, or both of them aren't the best in the world, this is something that can dramatically improve the quality and remove lag. I'd rather see a game that's not super smooth and be consistent with the quality and consistent with the frame rate. When I'm playing games like Minecraft and StarCraft, I'll stream at 20, 24 frames per second because you don't need high frames per second. When I'm doing Battlefield on Xbox, I'll leave it at 30 because it's Xbox. It's not really affecting my computer power, is all going for the stream, so I can do at 30. When I'm playing Battlefield on PC, I'll put it at 25 generally. If I feel like turning down my graphics in my game, I can put it at 30 and it's fine. It's just one of those things, depending on your circumstances, you're going to want to change this. So the biggest problems are going to be for people is their stream is laggy. As I've stated several times already, the number one problem with the laggy stream is this number being faster than your internet connection. That's pretty much it. Lower that number, it's going to be better. The other problem that I see people a lot is their in-game frames per second are dropping. They're going from, people are like, I get 80 frames per second in StarCraft, and then when I stream I get 10. Well, I've already stated how to fix that. Flip this over to super fast, uses less CPU power, more internet to get the same quality. If that's still not working out for you, then your problem is the amount of screen you're capturing is too much. It's too much of a drain on the computer. It's processing too much, not capturing, sorry. It's processing too much of what's being captured. depending on your captured method, that also will use more power. You can use xsplit's capture, you can use the screen region capture, you can use DX Stories capture. Pretty sure there's other programs out there. But the processing is this one right here. If your computer is lagging, like your game is not network lag, but your frames per second is dropping type lag, lower this number as well. This will have a huge, this is probably the biggest thing that'll slow your computer down while you're trying to play a game and your frames per second are dropping. But if your frames per second is dropping, lower this number, lower frames per second, and lower the whatchamacallit, the preset, not resolution, yes, resolution, but and the preset. Having this on super fast, we use less CPU power. Having the resolution be smaller, we'll use less CPU power. So I hope my very unprofessional and talking around myself will help people somewhat, somehow, maybe, to answer some of your questions about it. It all comes down to your computer speed and your internet speed. You have to find the balance between, you can't have amazingly good quality with a sucky internet and sucky computer. You can't have amazingly good quality with a really good computer and sucky internet necessarily. One of the best things to do is get it working with really crappy settings. Say something like this. You know, leave it default 500. You know, make your resolution be really crappy and see how smooth it is on the stream. If it's smooth, adjust one thing at a time. Say, oh, that works good. Let's bump it up. Well, I jumped up too much there, but bump it up a little bit. Stream, make sure you're having fast action. You know, what I did when I did this is I put Black Ops 2 in and watched the same replay like 100 times and had my stream settings saying something like, testing stream quality settings, don't watch. Or when people came in, they were like giving me suggestions of about the perfect settings, which weren't true at all because everyone's settings are going to be different. You just one thing at a time. Say it's smooth like this. It's going to look like crap because the resolution is really good, but the bandwidth, it's not allowed to fill up that resolution, so it's going to be all pixelated anyways. So this will actually have to go up to make it look better. Just say like 2000. If that's smooth, okay, good. During fast action, bump it up a little bit more. That's good. So you bump it up to 4000 and you start getting lag on the stream. Okay, back down to 5000. Test it again. Or 2500. It's all good. Okay, let's say your computer's getting low frames per second. Bump this up to super fast. Is it all good? You know, stuff like that. You got to change things one variable at a time and do a proper test. Don't sit in the menu. That's one of the biggest things is people are like, well, look at this stream test. It's all good. And they're like sitting in the menu for a game. And then they post another video. Well, this is what it looks like when I actually want to record. It's because he's moving around with explosions going off. That's your problem right there, buddy. So, yeah. I've decided to give you guys a little example about the stats information up here with xsplit. I've already changed on my dashboard that I'm testing video settings, so hopefully nobody comes into the stream and gets all pissed at me not streaming. So I'm going to start a stream, and I'm not showing you guys my video yet because I'm going to log into my server. Create new world. Actually, I'll just create a new world. We'll do creative. Boom. Let's hit this key and drag it over. There you go. Sitting in a menu screen. Look how little bandwidth is being used. And as the colors flash around, you'll notice. Let's lower this down because recording, streaming, and playing the game all at the same time uses a crap load of computer resources. So if I hold still, watch the bit rate up here, right here. See it's dropping? Because it's not having to update the screen as much. This is why you can't sit in a menu and be like, oh, my stream is all smooth and hokey dokey. Doesn't work like that. Because watch what happens when I move around and I look. Just looking back and forth while holding still on Minecraft, look what it does here. Look at that, 3,500. It's actually going over my max bit rate. There's a few reasons why this doesn't cause lag for viewers. Mainly, one would be the buffer. That would help it. There's a few other reasons why it wouldn't cause lag for the viewers, but they'd be seeing lag if this number was being dropped. Actually, let's see if I can force that. Let's see here. I'm gonna lie, and I'm gonna tell it I have a. Oh, what am I doing? I'm gonna lie and tell it I have a godly internet connection. 2, 3. Let's see what happens when you try doing this. So when I'm holding still, it's gonna be all hokey dokey because it doesn't need much internet. 11, 1,000. Look at even holding still, the quality on the stream right now is extremely good. If you notice, the bitrate's higher than it was before, even though I'm holding still, because it's still having to update some stuff on the screen, and it thinks it has more bandwidth, so it's going to be using more. Now watch this. Let's see if I can get it to drop frames here. Wait, see, dropping frames? It's surpassing my max internet by a crap load. It's actually not even quite hitting my actual internet speed, and it's dropping frames. That's why you don't want it to have it going over your true value. That right there, people would be seeing black screens, the stream would be chopping in and out, all that good stuff. So let's disable that. I'd like to give more direct examples of what the other things do, like quality, but that's too hard to do with recording. That's just something you're going to have to experiment with yourself. I could give you direct examples with this, but that's just simple. I've already explained how it works. Do this if you have fast internet, crappy computer. The lower down you go, it reverses. Very, very simple. And once again, the frame rate's going to dramatically take the load off your computer, take the load off your internet. Even holding still, you will actually see the frame, like the amount of internet usage, dropping because it's not having to process and upload as many frames. I'm not going to show any more examples. So, I guess in closing, thank you for watching. Sorry for rambling, going off on loops and little tangents. I just really hope people can start streaming with good quality, even if not good quality, with steady quality. I cannot stand watching streams with lag. There's this guy that streams StarCraft 2, and he lives in Canada, and I forget his name. It's a very clever name, very simple name. It's just a cool name. But he streamed in 320p or 360p. Streamed looked like crap, but it was consistent, and his gameplay and commentary was good. And that's what makes a good stream, not bragging you have HD. Yes, you'll bring idiots in because it looks really good, but then when you start moving around the game, the quality is going to go to shit and people are going to leave. So constant stream is what you want, not peak good when you're sitting in a menu. Oh, you guys have a good day. Thanks for watching. Share, like, favorite, subscribe. Is that what I'm supposed to say? I actually do post a lot of random videos, time-lapse of me driving my car, Battlefield, Minecraft, StarCraft, Halo. So, you guys have a good one. And now I can't stop the video. Are you serious? Stop.